Key HaWah, HaWah all over the place. HaWah is our breath of security. You got to get that fifth and sixth letter before you get to seven. Food, cut off the hijack. Let's go. It's getting too good to us. Moroni was resurrected like JC. HaWah, HaWah. Barbar means swan in Hebrew. And Quetzalcoatl has a priest Tapuzin, who is Israel the seventh. So Israel the seventh is the priest of Joshua, Quetzalcoatl, right? Who left Cholula for Rhoda in about 1000 AD. Let's correlate this with the Book of the Beginnings. The Old Red Land, HaWah, HaWah, La Pala, was the name of the original home in the north from where the Toltec migrated. So here, Gerald Massey is saying that they're, migrating out of this red land called HaWah, HaWah. Right. The original home in the north. Forbidden Histories of America, Daniel Lowe is saying that Quetzalcoatl left Cholula for Rhoda. So is Cholula the red lands? That this Toltec is migrating out of? And again, we're just talking Sylvanus to Texas. So these Toltecs are coming out the line of Solomon the Builder right here in the American Empire of Kalalus. Israel the Third goes south to the Toltec lands, right? Makir America is Mixcoatl, grandfather of Israel the Seventh, Tapuzin, who is the priest of Joshua, Quetzal, Rainbow Dragon, who is, just like Jeremiah say, leaving the red lands of Cholula, migrating, right? Connecting to Rhoda, which is where you're getting the red or the Rodriguez, you know what I'm saying? Rhode Island, all this is red. So this is 1000 AD. He rejoined the remnant of the Rhodans who he led east and back to Europe. So they're connected with the Khans and, Spain. They're connected with the Khans and Ireland. They're connected with the Khans throughout the vortexes of Asia Major and Asia Minor. And some in what they call the Latin Jewish Rhodans, which are just the Hebrew, Rhoda of Judah, settled in the northwestern Spain, right? We know it's a more and more war. How do we know? Whereas trained warriors, they were welcome in the fight to preserve the freedom of northwestern Spain from the Moor, from these Confederate tribes. I don't even want to use the word Muslim because it just really means the people of the promise, but those that are going under the banner, Confederate against Israel right here in America, you're going to have to make recompense. You're going to have to, come clean and come clear before HaWah, not us, before HaWah. Rodrigo El Cid was Tapuzin's great-grandson. Tapuzin's son was Lane Calvo. This is where you get your Lancelot of Camelot, which is Lancelin of Kalalus. Rodrigo El Cid and his father, Diego or Jacob, married into the Davidic. So it's all about King David, no matter where we're going. Exilarch family. Now hold up. We're just talking Quetzalcoatl. They got a serious interest. It's very intriguing. Yeah. They want him to be a white man, blonde hair, blue eye, right? We're just talking the dragon. So if we're gonna talk the dragon, let's talk dragon. Let's start right here, man. Love to the bro. Matt Gomez, man. He dropped this script, and I just want to start off with this and get some Joshua flow and see what we connect. As we now know, we're talking Quetzalcoatl, and we now know that the Mormons been digging deep on Quetzalcoatl. I was sing of the mercies of HaWah forever. Psalms 89. Let's go. To all generations will I make known thy faithfulness with my mouth, for I have said forever his mercy built in the very heavens. Thou dost establish thy faithfulness. I have made a covenant with my chosen. See, we don't need your treaties. You needed a treaty because you felt empty inside. You had no treaty. You had no covenant with no strong power. So you made a bunch of little covenants with little powers and little people. But I have made a covenant with my chosen. I have sworn unto David, my servant. Forever will I establish your seed and build up your throne to all generations. Managa, I think that includes us today. I think we're included in all generations. I know we are included in the seed that will be established and in the covenant that has been sworn into Khan Dawi, Dawu. I know we're included in this because HaWah made a covenant with HaWah's chosen. Now, where does this turn into Jesus at? Where is there room for JC as this new chosen? But he must be a son of David. But he can't be a son of David. He's an immaculate conception, right? He don't have no daddy. You can't have no daddy and have an inheritance through a lineage of a seed, man. You're not a part of the seed. You're an immaculate conception. You are God, right? God doesn't need to be the seed of David, right? So why are you trying to cap, on Dawi? Clout chase David all day, trolling David. Amos 3, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, Israel, man. And this covenant, Hosea 3, about to get it again. Let's go. Because a wise man says, I have sworn unto David. You can't circumvent this covenant. This is why the Khan David investigation is so amazing. Because we are just validating and revealing, it's being revealed, this covenant. Once you realize who you are as the chosen, then you'll see clearly who David is. David is who the seed is established through. Forever will I establish your seed. Forever will I establish your seed and build up your throne. Your kingdom going to always be built to all generations. That's my covenant with David. That's my sworn oath to David and the seed of David. I can't make this up. It's Psalms 89. So shall the heavens praise your works, HaWah, your faithfulness also in the assembly of the holy ones. For who in the skies can be compared unto HaWah? Who among the sons of might can be likened unto HaWah? A power dreaded in the great council of the holy ones and feared of all them that are about him. O HaWah, power of hosts, who is a mighty one like unto you, HaWah? And your faithfulness is round about you. You rule the proud swelling of the sea. When the waves thereof arise, you still them. Thou did crush Rahab as one that is slain. Thou did scatter your enemies with the arm of your strength. Thine are the heavens, thine also the earth, the world, and the fullness thereof. You have founded them. We're talking that hook, that wow, that security. You firm, you fixed, you immovable. You ain't spinning on a ball, man. Forever I establish your seed. I made a covenant with David. How does ShaLaWam break it down in the medieval empire of the Israelites? Remember Kish, father of Saul, Saul, father of Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah has a son, Afghana, where they're getting Afghanistan, and Afghana had a high position in the rule of King David and in the royal court during the rule of Solomon. So he was very close to David, Jeremiah. He has to be. This is why Jeremiah can pop off with, hey, it shall come to pass in that day. What day? When you are saved, when the time of trouble is a wrap. But we're talking about this Jacob's trouble. But you're going to be saved. And it shall come to pass in that day, says ShaLaWam of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off your neck and will burst your bands. You free Nagas now, man. Free the Naga. Who gonna free the Naga? HaWah gonna free the Naga. How's HaWah gonna free the Naga? But they shall serve HaWah because you are in code. Exodus 20 got us in code. So we keeping a code by default. David, our king, will be raised up, right? Because HaWah made a forever covenant with David. This is Jeremiah 30, a second witness. We got Hosea 3, and then we got Ezekiel, right? On and on we go. David, their king, whom I will raise up unto them. Why? Because he made a covenant with David. Any more validation when we talk to Prester? Why are we talking Prester on your forehead? Page 313. Medieval Empire of the Israelites by Robert Grisham. Right? And this book, brand new, cost $1,000. So Halal HaWah for the PDF. Let us return, however, to the holy blood, the holy grail. Remember, the Prester is the grail. David is the holy grail because he got the keys to the fountain of youth. He got the keys to the Magi flow, the paradise flow. Like Joshua making the sun stand still. The symbol of the grail, right? The sign is a symbol of authority. Joshua got a robe filled with signs, right? And of traditions which are inherited. It is part and parcel of the legendary Prester John. Holy Grail, Prester John, King David. Let's go. The legend of whom was spread widely in the Middle Ages. John was the master of a huge empire. Now we're talking Tartary, right? This is their Tartaria in America. This is their Nephite Mormon kingdom All this is Israel. Indigenous Nagas. Because the Holy Grail is the same as Prester John. To find the Holy Grail is to find the Prester. What else do you need? But you got to be in code. You got to listen to the creator of all things. So you can connect to that, that power, right? John was a master of a huge empire, 3 Indias, Antarctica, Australia's Terra Sancta. He was omnipotent and all powerful. I don't think you have room for Jesus. JC, Matthew 28. Now he wants all power. All power has been given to me. No, there's already a forever covenant with a forever priest king, one shepherd, according to Ezekiel 37 and Ezekiel 34, one shepherd, and an all powerful Khan of Khans, Rex Negus. This is Dawi. We ain't talking about no son of David. That ain't no son of David because he's an immaculate conception. Choose your Joshua. One is leading you to the promised land, fighting the giants, Canaanites, whoever, Moabites. They all got to respect him. He's marching and plowing through all they, hijack alliances, like the Combs say. Prester John is the all-powerful. Kings and czars were for him only subjects. This includes their sultans, man. This is why they mad, son. Tractatus Pulcherimus calls John the King of Kings, the Rex Regnum. We're about to talk Anion Regnum. We're about to talk Kivera, Eber, Regnum. That means kingdom. He's the King of Kings. He combines in himself spiritual and secular authority. Whoa, I thought JC got all the authority. All power has been given to me, Matthew 28. Now go make disciples, Zeus is saying. That's a reflection of authority. That's a shade of authority. That's not the authority, because the authority comes from HaWah. HaWah got to make a covenant with you for this authority. You can't prove your covenant with small magi tricks, walking on water, turning water to wine, healing with some lesser powers. You ain't making the sun stand still. You didn't stop the moon. You didn't stop the waterfalls from flowing. You didn't part the Jordan with that Moshe flow. We're going to talk that Moshe magic, how he passed it to HaWah, Joshua. But we just talking Presters, priest, kings. And the point is that this energy that's being passed from Moses, Joshua, and David, this is the same frequency. That's that Melchizedek flow. That's the Grail, man. That's that dragon. That's that covenant, that mark, that sign, the tau. He combines in himself spiritual and secular authority. And he can say about himself, Prester John, by God's grace, lords of all lords, who only are beneath heaven from the rising of the sun to paradise on earth. Well, if the sun rises on the east and America's in the west, when the sun must be setting in the west in paradise. Rising of the sun to paradise on earth. I mean, sun rises somewhere and goes to paradise, I guess, huh? Sets on paradise. The land of Prester John. Prester John holds in Shalak in all the medieval sources. Prester John controls and holds back the tribes of Gog and Magog. Now we're on the biblical flow, keeping the hijacks in check, keeping the giants in check. And he controls the seen and unseen worlds. In the world you see, and the worlds beyond the poles you don't see. He impedes the penetration into the kingdom of the lions and giants, which they call the military units, the degraded caste of warriors who had renounced high principles and fell into the grip of arrogance, violence, and military corresponding to the giants and titans. So, wow. So when they talking giants and titans, it could be code word for some type of, you know, violent military assault. You know what I'm saying? Imperial military, like Star Wars, man. It's like going against giants. That's how you feel today. All their military in your streets, martial law. It feels like you're fighting a giant. It feels like you're fighting a titan. The giants, according to the epic literature of those times, were worshippers of the wolf. Silence of violence. Tie battle, take the wheel, man. And then they're going to get into their own old gear flow. Some sources maintain that the King Xerxes, Alexander the Great, the Roman emperors, Ogier, King of Denmark, and many others had to visit the kingdom of the Prester. And there were accorded legitimization. So in order to be legit, they had to visit the Prester to be legit. Alexander, King Xerxes, these Persians, these sultans, they had to pay tribute to be legitimatized as their status as a ruler. To be a ruler, you got to be legitimized by Prester John. You had to go to the kingdom of the Prester. You had to pay tribute to Jerusalem. John's kingdom is named after the empire of the great Khan. Khan, Amaru Khan. Khan means priest. Let's go. The great priest, the great Prester. In mysterious and miraculous stories, that is the Khan father. That's where they got the Godfather. We just talking Khan father. In Slavic, Batu-Khan. And this Bat corresponds with this house. Because we only talk in the house, Managa. And the house is the bet, or the Bat is the family. So the Vatikan is the Batu-Khan, which is really a reflection of the original family, the original house of Khans, the Vatikan, Batu-Khan. It's coming from the Bat, the tent, the floor plan. This is where you do your strategic planning, your imperial military plans. But for us, it was a family. For us, it was a house. But yet, you better got your war plan. You better have your floor plan. You better, be in code. You better start to gather, code up, move through this door. You got to get somewhere together. You got to get your revelation from mama. You got to get that security from daddy. Wow. So we can all eat as a tribe and be nourished and cut up out the hijack. Ka. David, my servant. We are servants of HaWah. They're talking Batu-Khan, Bat, house of the Khan, or Vatikan, who sits in the center of the world. We're talking about John's kingdom, the kingdom of Prester John. This is the greatest investigation on the entire earth plane because it makes you code up, man. It makes you code up with HaWah. It makes you see clearly. It makes you get in code. It makes you get your look, your breath. It makes you get your foundation, your added security so you can be hooked in, firm, fixed, and immovable. We don't want to be moved no more, man. The Chickamauga don't want to be moved no more, man. But they've been moving us. They've been moving us, man.